Hey there, just a quick reminder, we have a mentorship program if you're looking for personalized coaching and mentorship to help guide you to the next level of your interior design business, whatever that might look like for you, whether it's processes and procedures or what services to offer to how to incorporate wellness, intention, or spirituality into your projects. Come join us over at designcoven.com/join. Or if you're just in search to connect with other like-minded interior designers, you can join our free community, also located at designcoven.com/join. You're listening to the Holistic Interior Design Business Podcast. This is a podcast that guides you as a new or inspiring independent interior designer navigating your entrepreneurial path. Here, with my over 20 years experience, I will share my holistic approach to design with intention and ancient practices, including feng shui, all incorporating mind, body, and spirit into my design projects. You will also learn from seasoned interior designers as they give strategies and insight of how they built their businesses and continue to work in the field. Together, we will discover supportive trade partners, new ideas, creatives, and inspiring artists from around the world. I am your host, Rachel Larraine Crawford. Hello. Welcome back. We have a special guest today, of course. This is Jamie King, who is one of our Design Coven members, and I thought she'd be the perfect person to talk about her experience in just these short few months of her experience with us. So I thought you all would like to have some insight coming from a member and from her perspective. So before we get started, we are going to go ahead and we are going to open our space by ringing our bell, just connecting us to the present moment, connecting to our bodies and our breath, just anchoring in. I'm going to go ahead and light our candle. Our beautiful Beeswax Mithras candle that is slowly getting smaller and smaller. From like the very beginning when it was like this, big pillar.
Love it.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to pull us a card. I've got Moon Baby Magick from Angela Mary Magick's deck, of course. Let's see what we got, Jamie.
Yeah, let's see. I didn't pull one this morning, so love to see what pops up.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. The 9 of Waves manifest. Ooh. So the 9 of Waves is the 9 of Cups, which of course is the wish card. So this is all about setting those intentions, making the wishes, because we know that they are coming true and that they're happening. So whenever I pull this card, it's like, okay, I really need to get intentional and be really aware of my thoughts and my beliefs, because it's going out into the world and it's happening. So beautiful card for today. 9 of Waves. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So Jamie, what are you nourishing yourself with?
Well, I do my water and my smoothie, got my walk in, doing my 1 cup of coffee. Okay.
Nice.
But also I got my water and rose vibes.
Ooh.
And so glowing skin, cell renewal, raise your vibrations, healthy digestion, mood elevation. It's this little cute tincture I got in Sedona at this amazing restaurant there. So
nice.
I decided to squirt some of that in my water this morning.
That's perfect. Do you do that often, or is it kind of just like a special occasion, or like when you're feeling it?
Yeah, sometimes when I, remember or what's popping up. I love drops. So I'll put a drop of whatever here and there as needed.
Yeah, so you're making little concoctions.
So, absolutely. Use our plant allies here. They're here for us.
Yeah. Speaking of plants, I've got my mushroom Mocha from Fun Earth Co., of course. And if you use the code, I think it's Bewitching. I'll double check. But you get 20% off for anyone that's listening. Yeah, Jamie came on quite a while. And the other Jamie, a different Jamie, came on quite a while ago and shared her.
Yeah, I've been wanting to
Mocha.
try that. It's on the list.
Oh, I'm going to bring it on Friday for our
Oh.
showroom tour at BDG.
Oh, awesome.
So you can put it in your coffee. Yeah. So good.
I'll make sure to bring a fresh coffee.
Yeah, I think they might have some. They're going to host coffee for us. So.
Oh, nice.
And some other treats.
Okay.
So that'll be
another
really good.
perk of the design coven.
Yeah, for sure. So I always ask everybody, what's home for you? What's home at the moment?
Yeah. Home is, I'm at the beach. I'm in Ocean Beach. I'm lucky enough, such a lucky ducky, to live a block away from
oh my God.
The ocean and 3 blocks from Sunset Cliffs. So I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about how grateful I am for that experience, because who knows how long it will last. I say that. That said, home, I'm also a big believer of home is where your heart is and where you feel alive and where you feel energized, rejuvenated. And so someday I hope home is in the trees somewhere. A lot of trees around, maybe some moving water, maybe some still water, but yeah, I can be comfortable a lot of places, but I think that someday it'll be with the trees. For now, I'm so lucky to be with my partner of 10 years, living in OB. We have a wonderful neighbor family, and COVID brought us closer together.
Ah, that's so cool.
So it is really cool.
I love it. So, Jamie, I wanted you to come on because I feel like a lot of people will identify with you. I know you have a beautiful career in the real estate world. You're not fresh out of school, or you're my age, right? So can you share with us, one, if you're comfortable with how old you are and what is it that you do and how long have you been in the business?
Yeah. So I'm 44 this year, Gemini. So I'm just fresh into 44, we'll say.
Nice.
Child at heart, really. I don't have my own children, so I get to be the kid still. I started in the real estate world probably 19.
Wow.
Working for a broker out of their garage in La Costa. So I was, grew up in North County.
Yeah.
And that journey kind of started then after I had gone to Palomar Community College. I took a bunch of art classes. I really, had this dream to go to art school someday, but I'm not the best student, didn't have a lot of money. And, just found myself working one point there. I had 3 or 4 jobs, and I wasn't even 20.
Oh my gosh.
So had to do what you had to do, right? And that kind of, led me in other facets of real estate world. I won't go down that path necessarily, but a small break there in the middle with, all the crash and everything. And then I found myself back in it. So it was just this comfortable world that I'm in. Didn't even think that I could switch and do interior design, which, by the way, I feel has been wanting to come out since I was a child. I remember, doing forts and tree houses with my cousins and telling her, I'm going to be an interior designer one day. I'm the designer of this space. My family would have guests coming over and I'd have to zhuzh and style and tidy.
Amazing.
And, just over the years, keeping a clean space and organized and just always having an eye for that kind of thing. And surely real estate has even played a further part in that, because I've been in so many amazing properties. I've seen, staging, the good, the bad, the beautiful. And then, of course, as you know, I was in the design world with Britt and Tend Living, being her manuela labor, as we called it. So, carrying soil, doing plants, in homes, in commercial spaces, in new construction spaces. And I loved being in that space with her and all of the cool places it would
Oh
take
my
us
God.
to.
Yeah. What an
Yeah,
experience to have
yeah,
with her.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you wanna look up, if you don't know Tend Living, I highly recommend you check out some of the beautiful, transmissions that
Hmm.
Britt puts out there in the world. So very lucky to have that experience and super grateful
Absolutely.
for that friendship.
Absolutely. Yeah. She and I used to work together at a showroom. Gosh, that was in '07 to 2010, I think, just before I
The
left.
In Little
In
Italy,
Little
the
Italy. Yeah.
what's it called? What's it called again?
Mixture. It was called the
Yes,
Mixture.
Mixture.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we were there
Love
together
that
for a few
place.
years. Yeah. Just
Yeah.
creating rad
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Love it.
So good. Yeah. I've got to get her
It's a
on.
very small world.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yes. Should be great to have on there.
Yeah. And you and I met at a networking group. Gosh, I don't even know how long ago that was. That was before I had kids.
I was trying to think it. Yeah. So how
Like
old are your kids?
they're 11 and 10. So probably 2010, 2009, something like that. Or
They
no, was it
were
later?
right after. Yeah, it was a little after because I had my real estate license. So I was trying to think of that maybe 6, 7, 8 years ago, something
Yeah,
like
maybe when they
that.
were tiny. I was thinking it was before then, but
Yeah.
yeah, you were with another company. So yeah,
Yep.
so awesome.
Different. I'm part of my 8th brokerage now. So I'm not quite sure if I ever have found my home exactly in this world, but I've moved around a lot, and I've certainly learned a lot
For
from
sure. For
from
sure.
all of it. But
So what reignited that spark that you have always had within you about design?
you, Rachel, and and putting, I mean, you put that post up for the design coven, and I
Yeah.
didn't even think about it. I didn't even bat an eye. I was like, I want to know more, right?
Oh,
And then you and I met up, and you're like, I'm starting to put together this thing, and we met up at where in Lacadia, right?
oh, yeah, I remember. Yes, you were one of the people that I was like, you showed interest, and I was like, okay, I want to know what is it that you need, what is it that you're looking for, and I
Mhm.
really built the design coven based on your input and a couple other people that had reached out like early on before anything was really solidified.
Yeah, nice. It
Yeah,
it that really just opened the door of the possibility. Once you confirmed you do not need an interior design degree, because I'm not going to go get one,
yeah,
probably. Uh, um, you know, um, that that just brought it home for me. It made
yeah,
it super accessible. And I've of course, known you for years now,
yeah.
watching you work, watch what you do, and you're a producer and a doer, and happy to take a journey with you.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing too is like speaking to people that are second career or they're just wanting to pivot a little bit within their career, adding this new, skill set to what they're already doing, and letting them know that and a lot of times there's people that already have degrees in other facets, right? And you guys have experience. You have like all this knowledge. It's not like you're, like I said, you're not like fresh out of school. You have no
Mhm.
business experience or work experience. You've got so much there that you can kind of just add to it. And there really isn't necessarily a need to like go and get a bachelor's degree in interior design. If you wanted to like go in and get a couple classes just to get some security in those spaces that you're feeling
Mhm.
a little bit lost, you can totally do that. But that's what the mentorship is for, so that you can practice with somebody that is experienced that can help lead you along and be your support and kind of navigate the world so that it's not like you're just coming out of it like brand new and falling through all the pits, right? It's like you've got somebody
Mhm.
that can be like, okay, hold on, let's look at what's happening
Right.
here.
Right.
Mhm.
Or look what you can do instead of that.
Yeah.
I really, I've really been thinking about and really excited about the fact that there are so many places you can go with interior design that the possibilities are almost endless. Like And I don't think that there's a school curriculum that probably teaches that part, right?
No, and that's why I started it. I mean, that this was the piece that was missing, I feel like, because in school, we get all these things and we get all these concepts, and without actually practicing it or learning from people that are in the field and like in it, like in the trenches, like
Mhm.
going for it. You just don't know. And then also, what you were saying about having these different pathways and possibilities and being exposed to like these showrooms and reps. And it's like, oh, there's another avenue that I can take still be in the design world and not necessarily have to be on my own, so that you
Right.
can learn and grow from it.
Right.
Yeah, it's huge.
And it's because it's overwhelming and a little intimidating, that world. I mean, any new world you kind of enter into, but when you've thought that this industry and the people in it are so cool, for lack of a better term, you kind of get like a little, oh gosh, well, first imposter syndrome, and
Yep.
then it's just overwhelm and analysis paralysis and, all of those things. Uh, you're really opening up, the possibility of all of the things and all of the connections you can have right off the bat. It's a total game changer. Yeah.
Yeah, and part of the intention there was to take out those blocks because I can see where people get stuck, or like
Mhm.
where they'll just not move forward. And it's like, I'm going to give you those connections. I'm going to introduce you to people. I'm going to have you come with me so that you don't feel like a total outsider when you're going to like these events. And then
Mhm.
also just the intimidation of like walking into a showroom and be like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, how do I navigate this? Who do I talk
Right.
to? And feeling like you
They,
don't belong. And
right. And like they know that I don't know what I'm doing,
yeah.
you know? um, but yeah, I mean, the connections, I know we're going to get into it, but so far, I mean, the connections have been amazing. And
Mhm.
everyone has been so supportive and cool and open. And I'm excited to see what's down the road
Oh
further,
my gosh.
for sure.
Yeah. And then also just like DRC, like being such a good support. And when they know that you're new and that you're connected and that you're just starting out, they want to help. Like all these people. And that's probably really surprising that people will be like, they don't want to like help, the up and coming or a student and it's like when we just show up and be like, this is where I'm at. This is like, I don't know anything or I need assistance. They're so just like, how can I help you? Like, because they want to nurture that relationship and they want to see you succeed for sure. They don't ever want to like close off those doors. And I feel like that's, maybe a misconception that people might get, or at
Yeah.
least.
I, I I see the similarity. There's like a parallel there with the real estate world. A lot of people switch careers and get into real estate, and then you're just this baby agent with you're being pulled in so many directions, people telling you all kinds of things to do. And so mentors are super important. And believe it or not, most of the people that I have associated with are rooting for you.
Mhm.
It is intimidating, but at the same time, I've gained so much support and skills from my peers. It's nice to see that that also exists over in this world.
Yeah, or at least we're making it happen. When I first started,
Oh
I
yeah,
I didn't have
sure,
that, so that was another reason for creating this. And there may still be little pockets and things where people are holding their cards close to them
absolutely,
and
absolutely.
that kind of thing. But I just found that by being open and willing to help other people, I've just received like this snowball effect of just overwhelming gratitude and open doors, and it's just been really neat. And to be able to share that with you guys has been really, really rad. What
Super grateful for that. Yes.
Oh, I'm so glad. What has been maybe your biggest surprise or aha moment while being in the group?
Yeah, I think that first of all, the relationships with the other members so
Mm.
far, we're developing little alliances and friendships, and we're starting to branch out and talk about meeting each other now apart. And I'm looking forward to the day where we just meet up in DRC and, start playing and shopping and putting things
Yeah.
together. And so those relationships too. I mean, San Diego is so small, so we're all connected some way anyway. and just, those relationships. But so you have this kind of community going right into it,
Hmm.
which I think is next level, something that probably doesn't exist anywhere either. And then, of course, those relationships like the DRC and the Cravat and all of the other amazing, exposure that we've gotten from your relationships and sharing those relationships.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
glad you brought up that community component because that's huge. I mean, just having somebody to kind of lean on as you guys are going through it together. And I would love to see you guys
Right.
like connect and like go and shop together, go grab coffee and just like bounce off ideas.
Yeah.
Cause
What are you doing? What's
yeah.
working? Yeah. I was going to say the, online offering
Hmm.
that, the virtual
Yeah.
things, that's something actually doable for any of us right now. I feel, just putting yourself out there virtually.
Yeah, absolutely. That's been huge. And then I also love the aspect of the virtual aspect of having the design panel come on and being
Mhm.
able to ask your questions of those designers. Are you finding that to be a value? And
Absolutely. I love hearing their origin stories, how they got where they are. Everyone's is different. Um, Being able to hear stories from commercial designers
mhm,
versus residential designers. 'Cause I'm kind of really interested in all of it. So, not really, pinholed in what I've
yeah,
got my vision right now. So
yeah,
being able to hear all of those stories and ask questions, about the logistics, the ins and outs, and the techniques, and it
yeah.
just seems like most places relationships are mostly everything, right?
Mhm. Absolutely, absolutely. And
Yeah,
I've been doing
yeah.
this, for almost 2 decades, and I'm still learning from even we've had 9 designers on so far. And I've like
Mm,
each time we do one of these panels, it's like, oh, that's a good idea. Or like, oh, I didn't think about it like that. Or like, everyone has these
right.
little nuggets of insight. And then also just the assurance of, okay, I'm not alone. Like I'm not the only one that has
Right.
like this issue or like what's going on
Mhm.
here? Is it me? Like what's happening?
Yeah, I was so surprised to hear some people who've been at it for so long still struggle with imposter syndrome somehow. You
Hmm.
know, that that was pretty surprising to me. It's like you're a
Yeah.
badass, own it.
Yeah, yeah, I know
I guess we
exactly
can
who
all
you're talking
say
about.
that now.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a designer that's in their 60s and has been doing this forever and still and,
Yeah,
it's yeah, so we're all in it
yeah,
together.
yeah. We're all human.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So I'd
Mhm.
love to know what are you doing with this insight and information? I know that you recently got a position. Can you share a bit about that journey and how that happened?
Sure. Well, the real estate world's always been crazy, and this year was particularly a struggle for me. Um, for whatever reason, maybe to give me more time to dive into the design world, but but I had already been thinking, okay, I got to get off this roller coaster ride, at least full time roller coaster ride. It's a struggle. And then joining the design coven really helped me hone in on, okay, if I'm going to go get a job, then I want it to be in that world, and I want to acquire some skills to help me push forward in that world too. So while it's not super glamorous or anything, but it is a flooring installation company, and I think flooring is one of the biggest um, parts of a home and design, and
Mhm.
it's one of the bigger ticket items that people use. So this position's giving me a lot of sales support skills for the sales team,
Mhm.
also working with the installation team,
Wow.
supporting them, visiting job sites, making sure things are clean and clear, hiring, firing, admin always. Now, this was supposed to be a part-time thing. It's certainly turning into a little more than that, but I just need to hire some support eventually.
Wow.
But so far, so great. Working with time frames and change orders and client expectations and, putting out little fires, I think are all skills that are just going to help me in the future as well. I mean, I have a lot of those kinds of skills in the real estate world, but it's a little different working with subcontractors and installer teams and, keeping everybody communicating with the customer and all of that. So, and then also the fun stuff, right? Learning materials. And when I say fun stuff, I'm like, yeah, so are we floating? Are we nailing that? Is it interlocking? Do we glue? All of the cool construction stuff too that I love. So it's really, I don't know. It just kind of lined up like things do.
So
and here we are. So yeah.
I want to discuss. I want to dive into that time frame. So, Design Coven started in June of this year. Like, were you searching for a position in the design space? Like, how did you find that?
I was
opening?
Looking for, So I had been searching a little bit, and I thought, okay, property management. I'll find a job in property management. Was kind of going that way. It wasn't working. And it was really eye-opening, crazy to be 44 searching for a job when everybody's saying there aren't enough employees out there, but I couldn't get hired. It was so weird. So you're 44 without a college education, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, but I have all of these other skills that don't fit me in this box, or I don't fit in the box, right? And so when the Design Coven started, it's like, oh, I can actually be in that world someday. Let's find a job that will help me in that world, since that might be more of the trajectory that I want to go to. I mean, I could probably always keep my toe in real estate in some capacity. And then I can even bring the design world into real estate with staging properties and advising sellers. So it's just all kind of blended beautifully, right?
Yeah. So when did you apply for that position?
Oh boy, it was probably, so Design Coven started in June, right? It was like the beginning of July.
Oh my God. So like a month.
Yeah. We know how it works.
Yeah.
When it's meant to be and you're lined up and you're open and ready to receive it, there it is.
Wow. And then the experience and what you're learning through this position is huge. I mean, you're in it. You're
right. And it's cool because it's not the glamorous part, right? It's not why everybody wants to do it, design, because of the pretty things. This kind of gets into some of the uglier stuff.
Oh, but you need to have this. I mean, for sure.
You need to have it. Yeah.
Yeah, so especially when you're doing your own installations and when something's not right, you understand the construction part, you know the terminology.
I mean, and having all of that experience with Britt too, and being on job sites and being dirty, and it's not glamorous, and you're schlepping in stuff from a block away, and we're, putting money in the meter. I mean, those are like some of the nitty gritty details you got to deal with, and so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be in.
It's so rad. So where do you see these two worlds coming together? Like, how are you wanting to implement all of this? What are you envisioning? If you have a vision at this point, I know you're still pretty fresh, but I'd love to know where you're at, what you're thinking.
Yeah. So probably a couple different camps, weaving it into the real estate somehow. It's the world I know best, and I'm most comfortable in. And I don't necessarily, I'm not really necessarily ready to leave.
Yeah.
It's just that things are insane, and they kind of always have been. So I don't want to put all my eggs in that basket anymore.
Yeah.
So I could always weave it in with staging and prepping properties for sale, and helping even buyers figure out their new spaces. So there's definitely a place for that. I can even offer a little side consultation that way. In the other camp, I'm thinking start virtual offerings for decluttering, zhuzhing, restyling, maybe learning more of the feng shui and weaving that in. A lot of people are really interested in that. And just helping people in their spaces where they're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was my cousin's bridal shower last Saturday, and I'm the maid of honor. So I had that on my plate, but I pitched it at the table. We
Oh my
went for
gosh.
a high tea luncheon, and I said, okay, fam, and, a couple of her friends that were there, this is what I'm doing, and I'm going to offer it to you for free. You've got to give me some support and some review work afterwards. And that made my cousin go, okay, all right, really? Well, I'm going to look at those things you sent me again for so-and-so's bedroom, and we'll go from there. And then she sent me an Instagram message later. She looked at, the things, the emails that you sent. And now she's open to some of these things, like wallpaper, fun pillows, stuff like that I'd sent. So, hey, I think we might be getting somewhere now.
This is amazing.
Yeah. And then I have a friend who's moving salon spaces. I think I'm going to be able to help her with some things. My mom's moving properties later this year, so I'm going to help her and just start to own it, just really own it.
You are owning it. This is incredible.
Yeah. I'm too old to be scared. At this point, I got to jump in.
Oh my gosh.
I'm still young. I know I'm still young, but
yeah. Of course you are. No, I had no idea that you were doing all these other things. That is just insane. I absolutely love it.
I've just been planting seeds, just got to plant them and water them and be open, and, put that imposter syndrome to the side. It's definitely there. But I think I told you, it was probably a month or two ago, we were meeting and I pulled the death card.
Oh, yeah.
That morning. And I was like, that really helped. I pulled that death card right before our in-person thing. It might've been at Cravat. And I was like, that's it. I'm killing all my past beliefs about, what I should have done, where I should have gone to school, what I should have been doing. Forget it. We're starting now with a whole other mindset, and we're going. And this is the new way.
Oh my God. I'm so proud of you. This is insane.
Thanks, love. Proud of you too.
Yeah. No, you're doing some pretty amazing things. And I love that you just own it and you're not afraid to just go out there, see what happens. And it's like, if that doesn't work, all right, well, I'm going to shift over here and try this.
Yeah, absolutely. In the meantime, just working with my own home and going, okay, that ugly corner that I'm not in love with, what are we going to do about it now? Or, really looking at my own space differently too, as a way to learn and, lead from example and just owning it, just owning it, embody it, make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. You've done so much in just these couple of months of stepping into that space. Where do you think you'll be in a year?
I think, in a year, that's hard,
seems
right?
So far away. Yeah, it's very close.
Eat it before you know it. In a year, I definitely want to learn a design program somehow. So
like
I know how to
an
do
AutoCAD sort of thing, like a space planning?
Like an AutoCAD, like a space planning.
Okay.
Yeah. So because I think that's going to be kind of crucial to know so that you can present well, right? And everybody's on the same page. But I would also like to have a few spaces that I helped with or taken the whole project on, things that I can share. I'm working on a name, and that workshop that we had was so helpful in actually focusing on some things. So I think we've got I've got some really good ideas I'm playing with there.
Yeah. And you're referring to the mission, values, and vision workshop.
The mission, values, and vision. And yes. And what was her name again?
Chantel.
Thank you. So that was amazing. Just to take that time to focus on who we are and, where we're going to take our business. So
we've got the next workshop, which is all about ideal client. So really zeroing
Ooh,
in on who that is so that we can speak to them and serve them. And
very
so that'll
nice.
be cool. So that's on August 24th. So rad. Is there
Yeah.
anything that you are wanting to get or that you're wanting to learn more about through the Design Coven? Or do you have any ideas on what you would like to see develop in that space?
I mean, I'm just thrilled with everything that's come along so far. I know that you're just going to even be making it better. Somehow you
Yeah.
are. I know it. I just look forward to, meeting more of the community,
Mm-hmm.
meeting more designers, um, the exposure, just nothing really too specific, except maybe how I'm going to weave in the the focused holistic style interior design.
Okay.
So when I shared something about holistic design, and then I had a friend go, "What the hell is holistic design?" Blah, blah, blah. She was just kind of laughing
Yeah.
about it. And so I said, "Well, good point." It's taking who you are as a
hmm
person, what your space is used for, and taking the wholeness of the person
Yeah.
in mind when creating that space for them, whether it's a workspace, a play space, a
Yeah.
relaxing space. What are we doing here? Who are you? Who's coming in here?
Yeah.
And then the materials, with a focus on sustainability, with a focus on reusing, with
Yep.
being as natural as possible. I mean, I know another designer who was on, like, we're in the world of capitalism. We can't escape things fully, but we can sure as hell try to be aligned the
Right.
best way that we can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that
We're,
intention
we're,
and
right,
mhm,
right.
absolutely. Oh, so good. So who would you recommend join the membership?
Oh boy. Absolutely. If you've even uttered the notion of design or interiors or
hmm
spaces, this can be a place for you. If you've ever felt that, I want to redo my home, maybe you can
Yeah.
you can be here. If you want to help others, you can be here. And then, of course, if you're a student in the design world, and I know the difference of, like, taking your real estate class in classes, and they don't teach you how to be a real estate
Right.
agent. They teach you
Right.
how to pass the test. So there's this gap that you're helping close
hmm
for a student. I also see how crucial that can be, especially when you haven't had a lot of past worldly experience,
Yeah.
such as myself. No. When you haven't had a lot of, sales experience,
yeah.
negotiation, putting out fires,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. So, and then,
Absolutely.
if you're interested in, you know, just hanging out with us, come and join, I think.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that, I've got somebody that's in the group that's actually a client of mine, and she just wants to learn. She's like, I just want to hang out with you and learn. Like, I don't
Yeah,
really necessarily plan on being a designer, but this fascinates me. And I want to
yeah.
be part of this. I want to
Oh,
be part of that community and I want to know. And then the other thing is, we just had somebody that actually left, and she was so kind to tell me that, this isn't the path that she wants to take. And she doesn't want to be a
mm,
designer. And I think that's huge too, because part of this
right.
was just to give people a glimpse of, like, what is it like in this world? How does this actually operate? Because I don't want you to invest in all this money going to school, all this time,
Hmm.
4 years of design school and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and then come out of it and be like, whoa, this is not what I expected at
Right,
all. And then
right.
feeling so bad about, like, all the time that has been kind of, I don't want to say it's lost or wasted, but it will feel like that. And then all the money that you could have invested into something else that you truly are passionate
Hmm.
about. And to be able to offer that to somebody in a month, at
That's
$100, it's
huge.
like, what?
That's huge. That's huge. You just saved them, years and energy. So
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that is so cool.
yeah,
Like
that is cool.
and she's still being part of the Patreon and we still connect and everything, but it's just like, wow, to have that
Right.
clarity so fast.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. Yeah, game changer.
Yeah.
Because, others might just keep you roped in and keep you on the hook. But
Yeah. No, it was
go
fantastic. And I was like, oh,
go be
that's so
free. Figure it
good.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So rad.
Oh, yeah. Your client that is in the Coven, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
what a beautiful space you created there.
Yeah.
That
And we're
was a
not done
very
with that
fun
place. Yeah.
experience. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So cool.
Yeah. And that was really neat to
Um,
be able to have you guys come to that. And I do want you all to come to more projects that I'm involved in. And even other designers, that's another thing that I really want to work on is getting other designers involved with sharing their projects and getting you guys into those spaces. And then we have Shadow Day that's coming up in September for you guys that have been there for 3 months, so we'll be connecting with you on that and possibly even doing a shadow with another designer, which I think would be really neat.
That's probably that's lighting me up. That's probably something that I'm really looking forward to and being interested in being right there.
Yeah.
When things aren't pretty.
Yeah. When we're in the thick of it and it's like, all right, we're going to problem solve this and figure it out. And
I'm going to go exchange
gorgeous.
this and return this. And
yeah. So good.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Oh, Jamie, thank you so much for coming on and just sharing your experience with me and everyone else. Is there anything else that you want to share with anyone that's listening before we head out?
Well, first of all, my pleasure. Thanks for having me on. I'm happy to share. I hope that, if even one person gets inspired, success, right?
Yeah.
And anything else I want to share? I mean, nothing comes to mind. I did quite a bit of sharing.
Yeah, you did.
So, good thing I've had a lot of practice in, the magic world of being vulnerable and putting myself out there.
Absolutely.
So I'm not too shy about that or nervous anymore. But I would just encourage anybody who's interested in it to take the leap. I mean, you're going to make a teeny investment for something that can be huge for your future. And that's some golden magic right there.
So Jamie, how can people find you? I mean, you're still doing real estate and doing all the things. So I'd love for people to connect with you and find you and have you part of their team.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes. So Instagram, of course, Jamie King. And then for now it's _ rock and realtor because I'm a huge music fan. I love so many different kinds of music, just depends what mood I'm in. So Instagram for sure. Right there in my bio, you can click my link for my link tree and find all my other places.
Sweet.
You want a home value CMA report done on your property, or you want, tips on how to declutter. For now, I can absolutely help you out with that. And I love to collaborate and I love community. So if anybody wants to collaborate with me or do events or team up, I am all about it. So please do reach out.
Yeah, and we'll put your link in the show notes so people can definitely find you.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. You've been listening to the Holistic Interior Design Business Podcast. If it's one that you have been enjoying, please share with anyone else that you think can benefit from this knowledge. And leave us a 5-star review that helps us get seen and found by other new and aspiring interior designers. And if you're looking for mentorship, I invite you to join our club here at the Design Coven. It's a bridge between school and real life interior design. We get in much deeper there. We have virtual and in-person events. So everyone is welcome. You don't need to have a design degree to be part of it, just an interest in holistic interior design. I also want to thank our editor, Marcy Ferry, and lastly, Kinseth Thibodeau, who is our music composer. Until next time, be well, and we will see each other soon.